Now join your hands, close your eyes and get ready for prayer. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturbharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God bless you all. Now see, who will tell me what we have learned in our previous class? Yes? What were the last happenings in our class? Is the board clearly visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, all the letters, words are clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now see, in our previous class we learned about adjectives. What are the adjectives? Here, in our previous class we learned about adjectives. What are the adjectives? Adjectives are the words that describe the noun. Okay, we learned about the descriptive adjective, adjective of quantity, demonstrative adjective, possessive adjective, numeral adjective and interrogative adjective. Today we are going to learn about the clauses, relative clause. Today we are going to know about relative clauses. You people have learned clauses and phrases in standard 6. What are the clauses? What do you mean by the clause and the phrase? What is the clause? Who will tell me? Clause. C-L-A-U-S-E. Clause and phrase. Okay.
Ma'am, I know about phrase, I tell.
Yes, beta. What is the phrase?
Phrase means the person of noun we are talking about.
Be audible, beta. Please speak little bit slowly. Phrase is a group of related words. Okay, it makes a sense. It makes sense, but not a complete meaning. Okay, a phrase is a group of related words that makes a sense but not a complete meaning. How can we understand the lady in the blue sari? The lady in the blue sari. Second one. Next phrase. My best friend. Okay. What is the phrase? Phrase is a group of related words that make a sense but not a complete sense. Example, my new teacher, my old home. Here we can say, understand that something about old home, but what? And what is the clause? Clause is itself a sentence. Clause is a group of related words that have a verb and makes a complete sense. Example, My mother baked a cake. My mother baked a cake. Here, see the example. My mother baked a cake. Okay, this is a clause. Why? Because these all words are related with each other, and this is the verb. And this sentence is having the complete meaning. That's why it is clause. Now today we are going to learn about the relative clauses. Okay. Do you get the clear idea about the phrase and clause? Any doubt in it? This is the recap of standard 6 learning. Now we are going to continue with the relative clauses. If you people remember, last year also I have shown you the PPT of types of clauses as extra information. But I don't know how many of you remember it. Okay, in 6th standard you were having phrases and clauses in chapter number 3, the Canterville Ghost, right? And today we are going to learn about the relative clauses. The pond, which was dry and lifeless in summer, came alive during the monsoon. The pond, which was dry. Let me write the sentence. Okay, let me write here. Which was dry. Someone's speaker is on. And lifeless during in summer, lifeless in summer, sorry, lifeless in summer, came alive during the monsoon. Came alive during the monsoon. Okay, during the monsoon. Now see here, what is the sentence about? The highlighted words are clauses, group of words that contain subject and a verb. Okay, let me make it a box. Okay, see here on the board, the pond, which was dry and lifeless in summer, came alive during the monsoon. Here, groups of words that contain a subject and a verb but are only a part of a sentence. Okay, the first word in this clause are relative pronouns like which, that. These clauses are called relative clauses. What are the characteristics of relative clauses? The first words are which and what? That. Okay. So, when the clause starts with which and that, it belongs to relative clauses. What is the subject of the sentence? The pond. The pond is the subject, okay? And the relative clause is giving information which started with which. Starting with which was dry and lifeless in summer. What was dry and lifeless? The pond, okay? So the pond is the subject here. This one is relative clause. And this part is the next part of the sentence, right? So what is the relative clause? Relative clause is the clause that has a verb and makes a complete sense, gives us extra information about the sentence or the subject, right? And it starts with which or that. Okay, it is related to the subject and modifies the information about subject. That's why it is called relative clause. And what is the subject? The pond. What is the relative clause? Which was dry and lifeless in summer. And what is the next part of the sentence? Came alive during the monsoon. Do you have any doubt till now? Yes? Any doubt or query? Speak up. Do you have any doubt or query?
No.
Yes? Speak up, beta. Do you have any doubt or query? That we are lying on the ground. Wait for a while. That were lying on the ground. Now I gathered the flowers that were lying on the ground. Here who will tell me what is the relative clause, what is the subject?
Ma'am, the subject is flowers.
No, I. Okay. I is the subject. And relative clause does the duty of modifier for the subject. And relative clause always start with that and with. So see, this is the relative clause till here. Okay. So that were lying on the ground. What were lying on the ground? The flowers. So the relative clause is used here to modify, to give us extra information about the sentence. Right. Now let's see, underline the relative clauses in these sentences and circle the noun. Here subject is I. But what they define? The noun. What noun? The flowers. They are giving us extra information about the flowers, right? Now see, I is the subject here. Here the pond is the noun and subject both. Alright, in this sentence I is the subject. But noun, the flowers is the noun and the clause is regarding flowers. Right. Now see the next part, what we call it? Underline the relative clauses in these sentences. Before starting to solve the things, I think that I need to show you the PPT of the relative clauses. Are you interested? Or we will see it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very interesting.
Okay, fine. So let me put my phone to the charger, and then we will continue with the screen sharing. After the PPT, we are going to solve the textbook exercises. Right, be attentive. It is very interesting PPT. I liked it a lot. When I was searching for it, I got it and I found it very interesting. You people will also feel happy to see it. It is amazing. See, wait for a while. Let me put the plug in. Relative clauses. Here, these are the 14 slides. Relative clauses. See, relative clauses, definition and types. See here, it is just introduction in 7th standard. Okay. See, relative clauses contribute additional information about a noun in the main clause called tense done. Right? There are two types: defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. Defining relative clauses or subordinate adjective. Okay, see here. These relative clauses give new information which is essential to identify the antecedent, right? The new information they give is absolutely necessary to make the whole sentence understandable. Second, defining relative clauses. In many defining relative clauses, a preposition may appear at the end of the sentence. This is the place which I told you about. Okay, is that the girl who you came with? So, defining relative clauses. She is the teacher who taught me Greek. Who, which, that, some kind of words are, these words are the identifiers for relative clauses. Now, the book, which, that, okay, I was reading yesterday was very interesting. Now see, non-defining relative clauses, the information given by the relative clauses is not absolutely necessary to understand the sentence. It is an additional information about the attention, right, which is well defined and identified. These clauses always come between commas in writing. Non-defining relative clauses. My girlfriend who lives in London is very pretty. Notice, if we omit non-defining relative clauses, the main clause is fully understandable. My girlfriend is very pretty. Okay. Now see other features. We use who, whom for people, which for the rest of cases, but never that. My father who lives in Detroit is very rich. His house, which is in Detroit, has 5 rooms. The relative pronouns cannot be omitted. Relative clauses, notice that the meaning of the sentence changes, the same as in Spanish, depending on the type of relative clauses. Okay. Now see here, this is the extra information. Who is for people, which is for things, that is for people, things more common. Whom for people, when temporal references, where places, whose possession or belonging. Now see some examples. That's the writer who wrote the poem. The boy whom I met at the restaurant was very nice to me. This is the car which I bought last week. That's the town where I was born. That's the man whose daughter is at the same class as me. Who, which, that can be the subject or the object of a sentence. We can leave out the pronoun only when it is the object. The man who has bought the house is from London. He has bought the house. Okay. The letter which that came this morning was from my dad. Okay. The letter came this morning, subject. Now see. Relative pronouns. The man who you met yesterday is my friend. Object, the film that we missed is repeated this evening. We missed the film. See the next part of relative clauses. Second slide is also very interesting. Relative clauses. In this section we will look at how we form relative clauses and what they are. How to form relative clauses, defining and non-defining. See here, a relative clause is a part of a sentence beginning with a relative pronoun. For example, the company where I worked is called International Enterprises, PIC. Okay, now see, the man who went into the baker's bought a loaf of bread. My sister who lives near London is coming to visit me soon. Where, who. Okay, now see the next part. The relative pronoun you use depends on the thing you are talking about. Generally speaking, the most basic ones are these. For people, who, that. For things, which, that. For places, where. For reasons, why. For times, when. Now see, let us put a sentence together to see how relative clauses work. Do you know the girl who is talking to Costa? What is the relative pronoun in this sentence? What is the relative pronoun? Okay, see, that's correct. Do you know the girl who is talking to Costa? Imagine a girl is talking to Costa. You want to know who is. who she is and ask a friend whether he knows her. You could say, a girl is talking to Costa. Do you know the girl? Now, thinking about using relative clauses. Which sentence sounds better, A or B? A. Now, see the next part, yes, A. B sounds rather complicated, doesn't it? What better?
Ma'am, your
What
voice was
happened?
cutting. Ma'am, your voice was cutting.
Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am, now okay.
See. Okay. Now see the next part. Okay. Let's review. Who is the subject or object pronoun for people? Example, I told you about the woman who lives next door. Sorry. Which is a subject or object pronoun for animals, buildings and things. Example, do you see the cat which is lying on the roof? Now, which also refers to a whole sentence. Example, he couldn't read, which surprised me. Now, whose is a possession for people, animals and things. Example, do you know the boy whose mother is a nurse? Now see, whom is an object pronoun people, especially in noun defining relative clauses. Defining relative clauses, we colloquially prefer whom. Wait, let me drink water. Now see, whom is an object pronoun for people, especially in non-defining relative clauses. In defining relative clauses, we colloquially prefer who. Example, I was invited by the professor whom I met at the conference. That is a subject or object pronoun for people, animals and things in defining relative clauses. Who or which are also possible. Now see example, I don't like the table that stands in the kitchen. Now this is the example, you people practice it at home. Okay, and I will share these two PPTs in your class book. You can go through it. Now let's see the exercise for the chapter. Okay, I hope that this much information is helpful for you people to get ready with the stuff. Okay, wait for a while. Let me arrange. Is it okay now? Okay, now okay. Now we are going to write the answer. Underline the relative clauses in these sentences and circle the nouns that they describe. First one, she returned the sweater that belonged to me. Okay, here I am going to write the answer only. Question C. Page number 36.
Ma'am, page number
36 textbook. Question C, page number 36 textbook. She returned the sweater that belonged to me. What is the noun here? The sweater. And relative clause, that belong to me. That belongs to me. Underline it. Now second one. Second answer you people have to give me. The piano which I last week not working. Let me write the sentence. The piano which I bought, B-O-U-G-H-T, last week. Is not working. Is not working. Now who will answer the question?
Ma'am, Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
Ma'am, the piano is noun. The piano. And the which I bought last week is not working. Relative clause.
Very good. Now third sentence. Very good. Third sentence. Samara loves watching films that make her laugh. Samara loves watching films that make her laugh. Samara loves watching films that makes her L-A-U-G-S laugh. Yes, the films like Period, PK, all that kind of films make us laugh. At the same time, we can cry also. So, what is the noun here? Samara loves watching films that makes her laugh. What is the noun here? Film.
Ma'am, Samara.
No, beta. Film. Okay. Film. Samara is the subject. Okay. This is the main clause. But what is the noun? Film. Okay. And that makes her laugh is the relative clause. Now second one, fourth one. My grandfather who lives in Kashmir is going to visit us. If I write fourth here, is it okay? My grandfather who lives in Kashmir is going to visit us. Is to visit us. Now tell me, what is the noun here?
Kashmir, ma'am, Kashmir.
Kashmir. What is not wrong? What is the clause about? ये clause किसके बारे में है? Who lives in Kashmir is the clause. My grandfather is the noun here. That is what I am trying to explain you people. Now see, fifth one. Wait for a while. You have to do it with me, okay? I will not going to send you PDF for this. Because you people are becoming very lazy day by day. Dispur, where I grew up, is the capital of Assam. Fifth one. Dispur. Where I grew up is the capital of what? Assam. Now see, what is the noun here? And what is the relative clause here? Where I grew up. Now see vocabulary for the chapter. Vocabulary. See here, it was as if hundreds of badly tuned radios were crackling away. Crackling away मतलब unbearable, okay, जो हम बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते वैसा आवाज करना, right? Crackling is a sound word, an example of onomatopoeia. Do you remember? Yesterday we have learned about the figure of speech, onomatopoeia. When it happens when we use the sound of animal or things as it is to explain to modify about their information, right? So what is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is the figure of speech where we use the actual real sounds of the thing. Like, what is the sound of the buzzing bee? And what is the sound of snake? What is the sound of a dog? One, 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 one. Okay. So that kind of sound, we use the actual sounds of animals and things to get clear information about themselves. And then it happens. What? Onomatopoeia. Now, few are the examples of it. We are going to solve the vocabulary question based on it. Crackling sound is the example of onomatopoeia. Here are other words which capture more sounds. Boom, howl, splutter, etc. Complete these sentences with the correct sound words from the box. Now see, oh, wow, do I smell vegetables dashed in the pan? Sizzling. Sizzling means satarna. Okay, sizzling. Sizzling. Okay, write down. Second word. When Rohit got home from school, he threw his bag down with a thud. Thud matlab when we throw something on the thing. Do you want to see the sound of thud? What is the sound? Third sound, right. Now see the third one. We could hear the faint dash of oars in the background. Faint swish. Now fourth one. The children dashed orange juice and ate biscuits.
Mom left.
Solved. Now see. Leah murmured the answer under her breath, but no one heard her. Murmured. मतलब धीरे धीरे बोलना, एकदम धीरे जो अपने आप को ही सुनाई दे ऐसा धीरे, right? Now sixth one. All the plates and glasses fell to the ground with a clatter. Okay. Now see, listening. Listen to the poem and as you listen, complete the lines. I am going to read a poem for you. Okay, listening text. Wait for a while. Let me get to the content. Playing with gorillas. No. Wait for a while. Let me get the Hanuman and I. Then poem. Where is the poem? Third chapter we are going to learn, right? Wildlife in cities pond. Now wait, listening text. While listening, wait, let me get back to the listening text. See here. Welcome to the Night by Josie Sidman. Who is the writer of the poem? Josie Sidman. To all of you who crawl and creep, to all of you who crawl and creep, who buzz and chirp and hoot and dip, who make others and throw off sleep, welcome to the night. To all of you who crawl and creep, who buzz and chirp and hoot and peep, who wake at dusk and throw off sleep, welcome to the night. To you who make the forest sing, who dip or dodge on silent wing, who flutter, hover, clap and cling, welcome to the night. Come feel the cool and shadowed breeze, come smell your way among the trees. Come touch rough bark and leather leaves. Welcome to the night. The night's a sea of dappled dark. The night's a feast of sound and spark. The night's a wild, enchanted park. Welcome to the night. Now we are going to write the answers here to all you crowl and creep. To all you crowl and creep. I will just write the answers. You have to write the words there. Okay? Listening answers. Right? Is it okay if I write over here listening answers? Right? This is very interesting poem. See here, creep. First answer, creep. For what? See here. To all of you who crowl and creep, who buzz and chirp and hoot and deep, who make at dusk, who wake at dusk, D-U-S-K, dusk, who wake at dusk and throw off sleep, come to the night, to you who make the forest sing, forest. Fourth one, who dip and dodge on silent wing, who flutter, hover, clasp and cling, flutter, F-L-U-T-T-E-R. Fifth one, come feel the cool and shadowed breeze. Now sixth one, come smell your way among the trees. Seventh one, come smell your way among the trees. Come touch rough bark and leathered leaves. यहाँ पे breeze के बाद trees will not be the answer. यहाँ पे leaves. Okay, L-E-A-V-E, sorry for the mistake. Leaves. Now, the night a sea of dappled dark. Night a sea of dappled dark. Now, eighth one, enchanted. Write down. Enchanted. Am I audible to you people? You people are not speaking anything. Why?
Yes, ma'am, audible. Ma'am, what is last second part? Ma'am, what is last second part?
See, beta, S-E-A-C. Is it not visible to you? Let me write little bit. See. And last word, enchanted, right? Now see, writing, listening, then speaking. Okay, for speaking, you just heard the poem Welcome to the Night. Now recite the poem with the right actions and expressions. What, beta? You are not audible clearly. Will you please pardon?
And what is the eighth answer after C?
Enchanted. E-N-C-H-A-N-T-E-D. Okay. Now see the writing work for the poem. Or do one thing. We will see writing in our next class before going to the next homework part. Okay. Today's homework is. Let me check. Today you have to solve question C. Write down today's homework also. Then we will see the rest of the thing. Workbook answer. Okay. Workbook answers for question A and B. Write down the homework. I am going to write it for you. Homework. Homework. What is your today's homework? Question C. Solve question C. Vocabulary and okay, page number vocabulary, page number 20 to 22 in workbook, chapter 3. This is your today's homework. Right. Now see the answers for the question 19 and question A and B of grammar. Complete this wave diagram to understand workbook. I am going to write the answers for workbook. Be attentive enough to complete your task. Okay. I hope that you people are writing with me. Write down the answers for the workbook. I am going to write it for you. See. Complete this wave diagram to understand the damage that has been done to the lakes of Bengaluru. First one, chemical waste dumped in the lake. Write down first one, chemical a comprehension question. I am not going to give you answer. Sorry. It will be given by Devi ma'am. Okay. Second one, grammar part only. Complete these sentences with the kinds of adjectives mentioned in the bracket. Page number 19. Here, workbook, page number 19. Grammar, question A. First answer is homework I have written over here, and now I am going to write the answers for page number 19 grammar question. I wish to book dash rooms for the weekend, please. Numeral adjective 5, 2, whatever. It's your choice. Now, dash students are waiting to see you. Demonstrative adjective. Those. Okay, fourth one. Have you seen the film Frozen? Didn't you think it was silly and childish? Silly and childish. Dash students are interested in going to the museum. Many. Many beta. Have you seen dash shoes anywhere? My. Descriptive adjective, red, white, whatever. Okay. Write down. Now question B. The News Journal conducted a survey on some of the metro cities in India. The cities were awarded scores out of 10 in different categories. Look at this graph and complete the comparison between the cities. Use the correct forms of the adjectives in the brackets. Weather, safety, friendliness, street food. Delhi, Chennai, Mumbai. Now see here, first one. Mumbai score for weather is higher than. First one, HIGHER, higher. Second answer, people feel sky second the best. Now, Mumbai is safer than most unsafe. Most unsafe. Right. Now third one, friendly, friendlier, most unfriendly. Friendly, friendlier, most unfriendly. Okay. Now, fourth one. The least then tastier. Okay. Now say fifth one. Better. Write down the answers. The most and the most popular. Alright? I hope that you people will cross-check your answers with my answers. Now, write down the answers. I am going to take your presentee. Say yes ma'am by owning your mic when I am going to ask you, right? Till we are having 1 or 2 minutes, so we can complete the presentee task first. 7th presentee. It's 9. Priyanshu Adroja. Ayanada. Dev Badrakia.
Present, ma'am. Ayan.
Manav Bawarwa. Ramya Chokshi. Rushil Desai. Rushil Desai. Yug Detroja.
Present, ma'am.
Dhruv Jetloja.
Present, ma'am.
Soham Jilaria.
Present, ma'am.
Adya Katoria.
Present, ma'am.
Radhe Kasundra.
Present, ma'am.
Harsh Kawar.
Present, ma'am.
Vishwa Kawar.
Present, ma'am.
Khushi Kundaria.
Present, ma'am.
Darshita Mishri. Ravi Kumar Patel. Vedant Patel. Saina Pathak. Nandan Sausani.
Present, ma'am.
Ukani.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, Rishika Ukani.
Present, ma'am.
Suhani Viramgama.
Suhani Virangama is present, ma'am.
Darshita. Okay, let me check. Vishwa Kawar, Khushi Kundaria. Okay. Time is over. You can leave the class. If you are having any difficulty, you can call me. Have a good day. Bye.